Well, howdy everyone. I hope everybody's enjoying my videos. I'm not nothing special, but I like to talk, so I figured this would be a good outlet. Today, I think I want to talk about the 80s toys. Some of them that I got as a kid that I was fortunate to get because, like I said before, my daddy, he worked in a coal mine, so and he worked all the time. I mean, he's they get the weekend off, was supposed to. Most of them did, but Daddy, he would always work back for somebody. He'd double back, triple back, so he's putting a lot of hours in and was providing us with a really, middle class lifestyle at that time. Even though, I'm poor as shit, I did have 22 years of my life, the first part of my life, well, not 22, at the time I was 18, because I moved out when I was 18, 17 or 18. But that's another story. Today I want to talk about the 80s toys that we got. One of the big ones I got when I became a teenager was the boom box. It's a big ass radio with a cassette player that I'm sure I annoyed a lot of people with, because I carried that damn thing around with me, even to school. They even let us take them to school back then. I know, get on the bus, sit back there in the back, and turn on some AC/DC. Woo! Had the whole damn bus shaking. Of course, bus driver can to her, and she's up there, Rodney, turn that shit down. Of course, I turn it down for a little bit and then slowly crank it back up. Well, I got bitched at a lot. But yeah, boombox were a big thing back in the 80s. And another thing that was big in the 80s that I guess they decided to get me to quiet it down was a Walkman. It's a little bitty box about the size, a little bit bigger than the size of a cassette. There's a cassette player and a radio player, FM, AM. And I walked around with that all the time. I had it with me all the time. I used to lay in the sun back in the day. Don't tell nobody. But I'd have my Walkman on. It was a cool thing back then. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have a fucking computer in our hand all the time. And then when we did have a computer, when we got into high school, you had to tell the computer, well, actually type in the commands to get the computer to do what you wanted it to do. So, yeah, we didn't just able to do like I just did, touch a screen to turn off an alarm. Another big toy I got a few things from was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Woo, that was a big thing. Oh, hell, watched a cartoon in the morning before we went to school. I had a He-Man action figure and a Skeletor. I think I had a couple others. I can't remember what they were. And then when finally the Transformers came out, hell yeah, I got an Optimus Prime truck. Loved it. Played with it. Like I said, I played with my damn toys. I played with them so much, like I said, either I broke them or I forgot to put them up. And if I forgot to put them up, Mom gave them away or threw them away. So that's the reason why I don't have any of my old toys. I wish I did. Because I know a lot of them toys I had, like the Star Wars and action figures. I took care of them as I got older. I started taking care of more of them, want to keep them. My G.I. Joes, the newer G.I. Joes, the little action figures. We never got the whole play sets. We just got a few action figures, me and my brother. There was also a toy called Mask. It's kind of like G.I. Joe and Transformers combined. They fight crime. They even had a cartoon too. We'd watch it, loved it. I'm big about cartoons. I still love cartoons today. Their cars and trucks kind of transform into flying aircraft, or like a car, and the doors would open up and it'd be able to fly, or a truck raise up and it'd be like a tank. Yeah, I got me notes. I have to get me notes, man, because like I said, a lot of this stuff I'm forgetful. Thanks to diabetes and old age. But I mentioned cassettes with the Walkman. There's a club. It's still around. It's called Columbia House. And once they have these little like 3x5 cards inside magazines. And one of Mom's magazines, I seen that. And you can order, I think it was 10 cassettes for a penny. To join the club for like 2 or 3 years, and you buy them at regular price once a month or something like that. They had a special selection. I still got them cassettes I bought back when I was 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. I started buying. I sent them a fucking penny. I didn't write them a check. I didn't have a checking account. I just sent them a penny in an envelope. I'll be damned. And I would, how I'd pay for them, I'd, do chores, and, we got allowance if we did our chores and all that shit, something like $5 a week. Plus I, help with the neighbors, shoveling snow or mowing their yard or trimming bushes or whatever. So I'd make, a couple dollars that way. And that's how I bought my damn cassette collection. My first one. Now, like I said, if you don't put your shit up, Mom threw it away. I think I bought maybe 5 or 8, 10 cassettes at that time. My first 5 or 8. Mom threw them away. They were somewhere where she didn't like. So she threw the motherfuckers away, and here I had to work my ass off to rebuy them. She'll deny it. She always denies it. Every time we talk about this shit, I'm like, you threw this away? You threw, I didn't throw it away. I didn't throw it away. Yeah, you threw it away. Because when I came home from school, it wasn't there. And I know we ain't got no damn thieves. I mentioned we had Hot Wheels. We still got Hot Wheels. Shit, we got Hot Wheels all the time. Love them. I think I got 3 or 4 of them from back in the day. But bad thing that me and my brother would do, because Dad, bought some firecrackers one time for New Year's. And see, back then when we got snow, hot damn, we'd be out of school for a month of January because of the snow and the cold. We don't get winters like that. Not around here no more like that. But we'd take the firecrackers outside. Or bottle rockets, we got them too. And we'd blow the fuck up out of our damn Hot Wheels. We'd stick them in the doors and act like we're crashing. Blow them up. Wish I hadn't done it, but we did. You gotta understand, we lived in a area where you had to make your own excitement up. And later on, when I talk more when I get further down in my life, there's some motherfuckers in the family did some shit. Whew, terrible. And there's some great things people did in the family too. Let's see. Trivial Pursuit was when it first came out in the 80s. One of my aunts bought that for me. And this kind of goes into another one I want to talk about when I was in elementary a little more. Because I've only touched on it. Is that I didn't have nobody help me to read. my mom and dad only had a 6th grade education, and they both quit school. Daddy quit school because Papa got real bad sick, and all the boys was able to work and go get a job. Had to get out of school and go get a job to help take care of the household. And Mom, I think she quit because I think it's because her dad, Papa Johnson passed away. I think she quit to help my mom. But yeah, I didn't have nobody sit there and help me read. I had to listen to the teachers, listen to my cousins that's a couple years older than me, 2 or 3 years older. They'd help a little bit, but mostly it was on my own. I taught myself. I'm self-taught in a lot of things. And I'm not upset with my parents over it. Hell, I think it's made me a better person. But later on I'll explain a lot more about how I might can read and write, but I'm dumb as shit. Another thing that we got is called stomper trucks. They're just a little bit big, about 2 or 3 times bigger than a Hot Wheel, but it had a battery in it. You can put a battery in it. I think it was a AA or AAA, and they went forward or reverse. They're like little 4-wheel drives, trucks and blazers and stuff. And I remember when we first got them for Christmas, hell, my dad and my Uncle Pearl was sitting down on the floor playing with them. Well, me and my brother sitting there watching, like, hey, when the hell are you gonna let us play? But hell, we got pictures of them laughing, having a good time. That's one thing that Daddy used to do. If it was a toy that Mom bought for us for Christmas, and Dad seen it, and he wanted to play with it, hell, he'd take it out of the box and play with it. I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas and put it back. Hell, we never knew. We never knew it had been open. Also, as I got older, got a bow and arrow set. I think I mentioned that last time. But yeah, that was fun. I was able to, shoot some pheasant with it. That surprised shit out of me the first time I shot pheasant with a damn bow and arrow. It even surprised Daddy. That's because that's the time when he's taking me out to start shooting the guns we had. We had a 32-inch long 12-gauge shotgun that so much kicked like a damn mule. A 30-30 rifle, which I have, as his, and a couple of 22 rifles. And when Dad take me up there, up on top of the hill to start shooting, set up some cans on a tree across the creek, and he'd shoot, miss. I'm like, did you hit it? No, sights are off a little bit. I'm like, they're open sights. And he would he'd take another 2 or 3 shots, and he'd be like, well, what's wrong with them cans? I'm like, you ain't hitting them, that's what's wrong with them. I hear it. He'd hand it to me, and I'm like, pow, 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 knock every damn one of them off. I'm like, sights are fine with me. He'd be like, well, go ahead and try to shoot that limb right there out of the tree. I'm like, which one? And he'd point at it, and I'm like, okay. Bam! Damn thing would fall out of the tree. He'd get the damn, let's go back home. And that's when he was teach me how to squirrel hunt. Because, man, my mama, Shortridge, boy, she can make some squirrel gravy. Most people can't. They make it too greasy. Ugh. I damn walk around heartburn, gagging and everything. Mom hated it. She'd hate it. She'd make it a couple times, but it tastes terrible. It didn't taste like my mom Shortridge's. But that's where we started hunting a little bit. And during, Christmas, because I was getting a little older, We'd get a buck knife and you'd pack on your side, had a little leather case. You'd either have an open blade or a blade you'd have to close up. And we also would get a hatchet. Bought us a hatchet, and I'm like, the hell you buying a hatchet for? He said, because you're going to work with it. So that's what we did with it. You know, we bust kindling with it. They didn't last long. Them buck knives, and I know a lot of people like buck knives and buck hatchets. I think they're a piece of shit. They just ain't built for crap. There was a thing called a koosh ball. There's a little ball, stringy rubber band type thing. I know a lot of people liked them. They couldn't withstand the power of a bunch of boys throwing them and playing with them. They'd fall apart. There was a craze. I meant to bring this up. I never had one and didn't want one, but I remember watching on TV, on the news and stuff. My mom didn't have it on. The craze of the Cabbage Patch dolls. Man, people beat the shit out of each other just like today over a fucking TV. They do it over a Cabbage Patch doll, you know, come Black Friday. Good God. It's crazy. Some of these toys back then with the big malls and shit, people were just fucking insane. And sometimes they sell out. A lot of times they sell out, and hell, there's a lot of kids didn't get shit because these people would buy 20 of them, or it was crazy. And like I said, they'd fight, beat shit out of each other for it. Reason why I brought up the Cabbage Patch Kids is because Garbage Pail Kids cards, we got a few of them. I didn't really like them, but Mom picked them up thinking we would. I don't know if Jody ever liked them. I didn't give a shit about them. But you know, I got baseball. That's when I started collecting baseball cards and football cards. I still have them, but I love those. I don't know if they're worth anything today, but I'm gonna pass them down to my grandsons. And there was a thing called micro machines. They were tiny cars, little tiny cars and trucks. Now these came out in the late 80s, but I still got me some because I love cars. I love hot rods, trucks, you know, these fancy ass cars, Lamborghinis. Woo! Can't get my big ass in one, but it's pretty to look at. The Nintendo Entertainment Center. That's when we upgraded from Atari to Nintendo. Oh God, and they never looked back. Whew. Those are great consoles. Loved them. Like I said, wore them out. Let's see what else I got here. When I was talking about the Nintendo game, that's when Super Mario Brothers came out. And just like Pac-Man, wore it out. Then they came out with the Madden games. Football, I love sports games. Baseball, football, basketball. Love them. I wear them out. Hell, one time I got so mad playing playing my best friend, Jason. I just bought it. This is later in life. I'm a grown man. Paid $69 for that damn CD. Came home. That motherfucker beat me so damn bad. I got so mad I broke the damn game. Threw it in the trash. Tell me if that ain't stupid. Then I went back up there next day and bought it again. That's the reason why I'm poor. No, I'm poor for a lot of other reasons. Then there was a thing called Mad Balls. They had these ugly fucking faces on them. There again, didn't like them. I went into that shit. My first bicycle, you know, I had little bikes when I was a kid. But as I got older, I wanted a bicycle, 10-speed or something like that. And where we lived on a hill, Mom and Dad was terrified that we would wreck off the damn hill, break something, tear ourselves up. So it took forever, but I finally talked to my uncles wanting to give me his 10-speed. And I finally talked Mom and Dad into it. They let him give it to me, and I rode that damn place everywhere. I wore it. Even when came to Tazewell, I still had it for a long time. It was given by my Uncle Pearl. Still was collecting comic books. But the problem is, Mom buying me off the wall shit, and I'm like, what the hell? Well, I just thought you might like it. And I'm like, I don't even know who the hell this is. But then we also had the paint by numbers, where you could paint horses and cows and all that. We had those. I don't know how much paint stuff I got when I was a kid, because everybody knew I liked to draw and paint, so that was a big thing. And also there was this black velvet, like it'd be a panther or again a horse or stallion or something like that, and you paint it with a marker. It was just, I don't know, I don't remember what the hell they called them, but I had a few of those. I think I got still a couple of those in the box. The Viewmaster when I was younger, I don't know if I brought that up last time, but I wore them out because I love looking at things from all over the world. I like to travel around the world, but that ain't ever gonna happen. I also got, my aunt started buying me National Geographic books. I'd read the shit out of them, and it's talking about all over the world. Loved them. Still have them. And she also got me a subscription to National Geographic, where I got them once a month. And this one, I think she started out when I was about 12 years old, 13. And I still buy them today. Every year, I got a subscription to National Geographic. I got them put up, boxed up, so world goes all the fuck, I'll have something to read. And I think that's about it as far as the 80s. Now, the 80s was, like I said, it was a great time. We got to, I'll do a video about the movies and the malls and stuff like that, but we did a lot of cruising and stuff, and able to get, I started learning how to drive when I was 13, 14 years old. My aunt and uncle, Dad wouldn't do it. He's like, I ain't gonna teach you. He said, you're gonna be like me. Because my daddy back in the day, he had a heavy foot on that gas, wrecked a lot of beautiful cars. But I think I'll call that it about about the 80s stories I had. And like I said, I hope y'all enjoying these videos. If you want to, learn more about me as I go along with these videos, subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, I understand there's a lot of content out there. But it's Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl day. Today is Sunday, right? Yeah, today's Super Bowl Sunday. Today's the day. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be the Rams or Cincinnati? I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Been a Cowboy fan ever since I was able to know what football was. But I'm pulling for Cincinnati. Go Bengals.